everyone, Warren Central Texas is a alert system that you need to subscribe to. So that's one of the after actions is getting many as our people as we can subscribe to Warren Central Texas, because there were several messages sent as early as Friday afternoon. Sadly, in Williamson County, we can confirm that we had 3 deaths from the floods. 2 of those deaths were from people who were in cars and crossed low water crossings, swept off the road, and died as a result of the rushing water. And then we had one lady whose home was swept off as well. During the time of the emergency, we had 63 calls, 911 calls, and ran several rescue missions. One I want to talk about in particular is right next to the home that rushed away. We have a group home, a residential home called Hope House, and it has 13 minors who have profound disabilities. And the Army came in and was able to evacuate 13 minors and then 3 adult workers and saved 16 lives. And I want to highlight just the danger of that mission and the fact that those lives were saved due to the quick and swift action of Williamson County EMS and the United States Army. So thank you to Fort Hood for assisting us with that Black Hawk helicopter. We've also seen a massive response. Part of the groups I want to thank, and there's too many to list today, but the first day we were out on swiftwater rescue and recovery, we had about 60 people. The next day we had over 100 from several counties started to show up and help. And then the last day, the day we were able to recover the 3rd body, we had over 175 units from as far away as Corpus Christi, Brownsville, College Station, everyone in Williamson County, Homeland Security, etc., working on the ground with 1 helicopter, drones, cadaver dogs. We even had cadaver dogs from Mexico. So very grateful for the partners who showed up to help. We've been able to stand down that recovery mission and now focus on cleanup in Williamson County, and we're able to provide assistance as requested from other counties. We are currently helping the city of Leander. We have 1 more person that we believe missing, and the city of Leander is taking the lead on that recovery effort. One thing, and I think I mentioned before, we have declared a local disaster emergency. We will have a court date on Friday to extend that disaster declaration another 7 days. That is being assisted by a statewide declaration, and we are still waiting on and hoping for adding to the federal declaration that currently covers Kerr County. We're hoping that Williamson County is covered by that declaration as well. That will help us greatly release resources to help us in our cleanup effort. Switching to road closures, we had 29 roads closed at the height of the flood. We are down to 5 that are closed at this time. The Williamson County Road and Bridge Department has worked tirelessly over the last several days to get the roads open and fixed, even if they're temporary and we have to go back. But all roads are open but 5. We have 8 roadways that are severely damaged, including 2 bridges. And so we've made some repairs there, but the heavy rains have hindered some of those efforts as well going forward. We've deployed over almost 400 tons of material to repair those roadways and spent almost $200,000 on those repairs to date. All right. As I've mentioned before, Bruce Clements, our Director of Emergency Management, has a lot of experience and expertise with damage assessment, and I'm going to turn over the podium to him to update you on what we're seeing across Williamson County and talk about a little bit about where you can report any damage that might not have been addressed at this point. Bruce?
Great. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate that. Good afternoon, everyone. So the damage assessment process is underway in Williamson County, and we have dozens of people out looking, going door to door, assessing homes. This damage assessment process is really focused now on homes. And other people who are not getting a knock on the door and getting their homes assessed, they can report their own damage as well. You can do that by going to damage.tdem, TDEM, damage.tdem.texas.gov. That's the state emergency management site where you can go to find the tool that basically you take a photo of your house, you put in some of your information, it gets added to our numbers, and then we'll come out and validate your damage, and then we'll pass that on to the state to review and then on to FEMA to review. So it gets you in the system. So if you have not been assessed, then please contact that damage.tdem.texas.gov. Now, we still have people out in the field, so you may get a knock on the door yet, but please keep in mind that you can report your own damage, and then we'll follow up with you directly. For those who need assistance, who are currently trying to recover, we've established a number for you to call. When you call this number, and I'll give you it in a moment, this is a crisis cleanup line. There are organizations, including over 40 national organizations across the country, who are looking at this, and some local organizations. And so what folks can do is call this number, describe the type of damage that they need assistance with, or whatever assistance that they do need, and then all these volunteer organizations will go on to this database, and they start kind of adopting who needs what. So there's cleanup organizations. You put your information in here. I mean, you call this number, and they'll put your information in, and then that will be connected to a volunteer organization who can come and provide direct support to you. That number is 512-201-4814. So please call that number if you need any kind of assistance, and that's the best way to connect with our volunteer organizations who are out there in the field right now. If you want to volunteer, please don't freelance and go out on your own. It can be dangerous out there, so please be part of an organized effort that's already underway. There are trusted folks who are out there who organize and give you safety gear, people like the Austin Disaster Relief Network at adrn.org, and there are others as well. But find an organized effort and don't go out on your own, because that can really be rather dangerous. So please keep that in mind as well. And I guess with that, I'll just go ahead and open it up for any questions that you have.
Questions related to damage assessment?
Yes.
Is there a threshold for people to call or not call for assistance on the damage to their home?
Oh, we'll actually help determine that. So if folks have any damage at all, you'll take a photo of it, and you'll tell us whether you think it's minor or major damage, or whether you think your home is destroyed, and you kind of rate it yourself. We'll look at those photos, and if necessary, we'll come out and take more and reevaluate it. We'll classify it and then send it to TDEM, to the state, and they validate whether your home was major damage or destroyed. They're validated, then it goes to FEMA, and they do the same. Then if we get the FEMA declaration, then we'll bring in some FEMA folks who will reach out to those individuals, and we can then begin whatever individual assistance FEMA offers. We can connect everyone with it.
Mr. Snell, you brought up hopefully getting Williamson County added to the federal declaration. I was at Shady River RV Resort earlier this morning. That was one thing they kept talking about was when are they going to get this assistance? So is there kind of a timeline you can give us?
I would like for Bruce to address just the amount of hoops we have to jump through to get that FEMA assistance. So there's FEMA assistance, which we don't have yet. We're hoping to get soon. Then there's some state assistance. Then there's some things Williamson County can do. So Williamson County, we'll talk about that at our court date. But I don't know, Bruce, if you have any more information on the FEMA process.
Sure.
So following a disaster, really the first thing that people need to turn to is your own insurance. So you start with your insurance, because some folks get the idea that FEMA will come in and take care of this for me, but actually your insurance comes first. And then once you've exhausted that or know what you're going to get from that, then you can reach out to volunteer organizations to help. Now, some of these organizations can provide furniture and assistance in repairing your home, so the volunteer organizations bring a lot to the table as well. So if it's private property, then you can you go through your insurance, you get volunteer organizations, you also report to us, and then if we get the declaration, then we can bring in additional resources to supplement what the volunteers have done and what your insurance has done.
Okay. So right now, for the debris needing to get removed there at that RV resort, they're just mainly relying on those volunteer organizations.
I'll talk about the cleanup
sure.
in a second. So. All right, thank you, Bruce. And did you give the totals?
Oh.
I'll just give the totals just so you know. Williamson County fared obviously better than Kerr County, and our thoughts and prayers still go out to Kerr County and the damage and devastation that they're dealing with. But countywide, in Williamson County, we had 54 structures that were damaged or destroyed. We had 11 that were completely destroyed. We had 15 that had major damage to them, and we have 17 that have minor damage, and then we have 11 more that are affected. So those are the people who definitely need to reach out, like Bruce said, to their own personal insurance, plus whatever county services are out there. Just the damage from the waters, I think we had 4 bridges, 2 county buildings, 7 utilities, and 1 water control that are in the process of being fixed. The cleanup efforts themselves, and one thing Bruce mentioned and why it's so important to go through an agency or just wait and be patient on what FEMA can do or what the county can do, is because you just can't show up at the landfill. Waste management, it's a scientific process. So even like you specifically mentioned, the RVs, if an RV is completely destroyed, and I don't want to misspeak, and I don't want to pass myself off as an expert in this by any stretch, but I know specifically for an RV, you're going to have to separate Freon, you're going to have to separate propane, you're going to have to separate the different materials. You can't just bring a wrecked RV to the dump and put it in there. That's not the way it works. They're under some strict guidelines from the federal government and state as well over what can be in that dump or landfill and what can't. So that's why we would discourage just people taking trailerfuls of trash or whatever. So the county will set up, and we have to go through some red tape to get cleared, but we will set up a site to burn natural debris. And natural debris is any bushes, tree limbs, trees, anything natural, vegetative material. We will set down a site to dump that so we can burn that materials off. We'll also have a dump site for construction debris, and that's anything coming out of a structure that was flooded, insulation, drywall, large appliances. We're going to need everybody to separate that so we can coordinate that trash pickup. I think, let me look. We have a site. So in Liberty Hill, where a lot of the damage is right now, we have a dumpster currently staged at 1650 Main Street. In Liberty Hill, I believe that's the Main Street Social. We are awaiting instructions and the assignment from them. We'll have an active dumpster soon at 1201 Phillip Lane in Liberty Hill as well. We have lots of generous people who have donated dumpsters, but again, we've got to coordinate where, once those dumpsters are full, where that can be located. And I just ask the community to be patient with us while we stand that up. We will get all the trash that's in the county, but we need to focus on debris cleanup on county property right now is where our attention is. Switching to volunteers, lots of volunteer efforts. Williamson County is an amazing community, and we have several ways to assist. Financial donations can go to Central Texas Community Foundation and the Wilco Cares Fund. Individual assistant request can go to Crisis Cleanup. I believe Bruce gave that number, but that number is 512-201-4814. We have a distribution at Operation Liberty Hill, and we have a Liberty Hill supply distribution at Liberty Hill Middle School, and we have several volunteers coordinating that effort. And those times are posted on the City of Liberty Hill's webpage, and we will post them on ours soon. If there's any reunification that any family might need, that will go through the American Red Cross at 1-800-733-2767. And as I mentioned, volunteer opportunities through the City of Liberty Hill, Flood Disaster Relief, Hope House support, the Leander Chamber Foundation, Local Flood Recovery, and also we have some volunteer opportunities at the Williamson County Animal Shelter. As you guys know, we evacuated 75 cats and 37 dogs from the Georgetown site, and then we evacuated, I believe, 60 more animals from Lampasas. And I think that is all my information, so I'm happy to entertain questions. And again, I'm very pleased with Williamson County efforts It was a team effort. We had hundreds of people working hundreds of man hours to keep our community as safe as possible. And again, we feel fortunate, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Hill Country and Kerr County, and just hope all that can be recovered as soon as possible and keep our first responders safe. Yes,
Just
ma'am.
for clarity, in Williamson County, so there's 3 deaths and 1 person missing?
Correct. So in Williamson County, we started off with 3 missing persons. We recovered 2 deceased. Then we added a 4th missing person, so 4 total. We have recovered 3, all 3 deceased. And the city of Leander is taking a lead on the 4th missing person. And currently, Williamson County is assisting in that recovery effort.
Got it. Are you able to identify the 3rd death? We know one is Caitlin Swallow and another is Sherry Richardson. Are you able to tell us who the...
Not at this time. We have the death confirmed, but we're working with the family, and we will release that name as soon as possible.
Okay. Is there anything you can tell us about the missing person, the final missing person you guys are looking for?
You know, Williamson County does not have a lot of information on that 4th person. We believe it to be a 75-year-old male. Found some articles, including a scooter. That was his property, but right now the search is for the person, and I believe that's all the information we have. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
Was that found like at his home or like...
That I'm not sure.
Okay.
That I'm not sure. I believe it was found in some of the floodwater debris, but I'm not sure on that.
So we should reach out to Leander for that?
You can, and we'll update you when we have one.
Been listening to a
Yeah.
press conference with Williamson County officials talking about their flood response. The death toll remains at 3. There's still 1 missing person. It's a 75-year-old from Leander. The city of Leander is helping with that search. They say they found the 75-year-old's scooter, but not that person. They also talked about the damage. They say now they are moving from recovery, standing down on recovery, and focusing on cleanup. So far, 54 structures confirmed damage. 5 roads still closed, some severely damaged roads as well. They also talked a lot about what folks with damage should and can do. So if you do have damage, they are going door to door and doing damage assessments. County crews are, but they recommend reporting it to damage.tdem.texas.gov. There is also a helpline number that you see on the bottom of your screen. That's for anyone that needs help with cleanup. They will take your information and potentially have you available to connect with a volunteer that may be able to help you with some of that. Officials also mentioned that they set up a dump site for construction debris. That's in Liberty Hill, 1650 Main Street. They're working on setting up another one, and they're also working to set up a site to burn natural debris such as tree branches. A lot of information in that press conference. Those were just a few of the key points. We will bring you updates this afternoon at 4, 5, and 6. For now, we will return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Cool. Thank you all for the help.